Hello and welcome to Hobby Vlog number 199. Now I'm very tired today, Sunday. Had an absolutely wonderful outing with Rosie yesterday. We went on a steam excursion up in the north of the country and then had a blowout on the way home which delayed us getting back for a couple of hours. So I was very, very late home and I'm pretty tired. But it's been a good week hobby-wise, topped off by that amazing adventure. I will have some photographs at the end of the video of that, but for the full video you're going to have to wait for the ARA Railroad channel, which a few of you have actually subscribed to already, so thank you very much. That video will be coming out over there. So yeah, brilliant day, brilliant week, got lots of done, got back onto some older projects and made some progress on some of the new ones as well, so it's been a good one. But I have been sick as well this week, which hasn't helped, but I've managed to get quite a lot done anyway, and I'm sure you can hear in the background Xena is outside playing with Rosie, who is currently driving her little remote controlled car around, which we built the garage for. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do reply to all of those comments. I really appreciate you viewing, and I'll see you again at the end. Go on then, Ruru.
So, we are doing the Hobbits.
Yeah, we're going to play the One Ring. Yeah. So this is going to be Rosie's first ever roleplay, and yours? Yeah. Your first ever? Yeah, so it's going to be everyone's first ever roleplay. My first ever attempt to actually running a roleplay. Are you excited, Rosie?
Yes!
Yes, you are. So we've picked our characters. So we'll quickly go around. I'm Romirak Brandybuck. Rosie is Primula Brandybuck. Aren't you, love? And who are you?
Lobelia Bracegirdle.
So you are the Lobelia Sackville Baggins pre-marriage. So I'm no idea how this is going to go. We're going to try and have some fun. We're only going to do maybe half an hour, 40 minutes max. Obviously, Rosie's young and I'm new, and so yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. But hopefully, we'll have a lot of fun. Should we get this done, love?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Let's
ready?
do it. Yay!
Ready? Yes.
Right then, Rosie, what you got to say?
The video is so grumpy.
Did you enjoy yourself? You enjoyed yourself so much that you bounced your head off the table while you were laughing, didn't you? You bonked your bunts. But where did we get to? Did we get to Waymeet?
Yeah.
And how did we cross the river?
On a log.
On a log. So Lobelia was very useful and she spotted the log. Me and you completely couldn't, we didn't even see the end of our noses, did we really? But Lobelia spotted the log and Romirak was able to swim over and we were able to get across the river with only Romirak wet, so that was good. And what did we have for our snack?
Biscuit.
Yeah.
Banana.
Sausages.
Sausages and apples.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the Lobelia said, thank you, I don't like apples.
Yeah, so Lobelia had 2 bananas and an apple. We took the bananas and she doesn't like apples. So she was a bit grumpy, weren't you? But that was a lot of fun, and what we've done is we've stopped just before we get to Waymeet, and we will play again, and the next session will go on from there. But we've done, it's now about 11:15, so we've done about 40 minutes of roleplay, and I think that's enough.
Lobelia. She's Lobelia.
No, you are Primula, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I'm Romirak. So did you enjoy it, honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you have fun, Roo?
Yes.
Good. Well, we'll do again next Sunday. At the latest, next Sunday, we will do another session.
I like to be that one over there.
That's not a good game. That is hints and reminders for Daddy of how to actually play the game. Anyway, say bye-bye. Thank you for playing. We'll do it again next week, okay? Good. We've made a little bit more progress on this, though 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm not very happy with how the cockpit was, so I took the side bits off, and I'm actually thinking about trying to remove this front one as well. Such an idiot for using the super thin, Tamiya super thin on the clear plastic. I really need to remember that because it's discoloured it and it's caused a lot of problems, but it is what it is. I can't change it now, but I have managed to get the pylons on and also the back as well, so that's good. So the next thing to do will be to put the propellers on and then start doing some of the little fine detail bits. I'm actually quite close to finished on this, which is pretty cool, and then I'll start painting it. I've decided to just paint it all in place So yeah, I'm not going to paint anything else, anything until it's all finished. I've got the liquid mask, so that'll be fine for the cockpit. But yeah, really kicking myself about that damage I've done to that front piece of the cockpit. What an idiot. But anyway, what are you going to do? Alright, so time to start boxing off the front. So I've got this cardboard, which is what I'm going to use, I think, though it does have quite a big bend in it. It's not quite so horrible when you turn it around that way, but it's basically exactly the right width. So I just need to trim a couple of centimetres off the top, as you can see, and then that will glue very nicely to the legs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint all of the wood with a black primer and the cardboard with the black primer, which I'm going to do now after I've cut it. And then I will glue and clamp that on then I will spray that gold, because I have some gold chrome spray paint, and then when that's dry, I will then glue this onto the front of the legs, and that will be the table finished and enough. And then the last thing to do is going to be the top of the box, so that Rosie can do top down puppets as well, and then put these lights in that I showed the other day. So yeah, good progress, getting there. I'm going to go and do some of the spray painting now. I'm actually not feeling very well again. Rosie got me sick. She was unwell over the weekend, and now Monday morning and I'm sick, which is joyous. But yeah, I'm gonna go and do a little bit of spray painting, and then I'm going to go to bed. So I changed my mind. I've done the cutting of the cardboard, and what I'm going to do now is glue that cardboard on the front, because then what I can do is I can prime the whole thing together, and the wood glue will stick better if it's against wood like this, rather than if it's got all sorts of paint and what have you going on. So we're just gonna spread that around a bit. Might need some more glue. I didn't actually put very much on, but anyway, just gonna spread that around a bit. And then I've got some clamps here, and I'll clamp the cardboard in place and leave it like this to dry. It won't take very long. And then I'll go out and I will do the spray painting of the whole thing. Spray all the legs, all the wood black, just to seal it so that it lasts, and then spray the front gold so that it looks awesome, because that's what Rosie wanted. So a little bit more glue on this side, I think. Didn't have very much at the top. There we are. And then that should work well. So yeah, that's better. Right, so what we do now is we're going to get our bit of cardboard, which I've cut to size, line it up nicely, and then I have these clamps, which are awesome as well. I might actually do it the other way around. There we are. Make sure that's nicely lined up, and then clamp these on. So I'll get that done, and I'll bring you back for the next step when I get to it, which will be spray painting. Right, I'm outside, and this is Punduk, who is staying with us just for a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint the whole thing black. It's a nice day, and this is a good way of not gassing yourself. So I've just got this Rally spray paint, and as you can see, it works really well, and it'll be much less likely to cause warping than actually painting things on. So I'll get at least one coat, if not two coats of this done, and then we'll come along and we'll spray paint the front gold. So yeah, I'll bring you back when I come to the gold. Wind's picking up a bit here, so sorry if the sound is a bit dodgy. Hopefully the sound's working. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Anyway, so that didn't take very long, and it's only one coat. That was enough. So what I've got here, with the spray thing coming off, what I've got here is some gold chrome paint. So I'm going to see how well this goes on. I think this is going to have to be done quite lightly, and almost certainly with more than one coat. But that looks nice. Yeah, that's going to be good. It's going to be sparkly. Oops, that is Rosie's stew. She has had a lot of fun making. So I'm also going to spray this bit of the wood. Right, yeah, I'm going to have to do this very carefully with this breeze picking up. I'll probably turn the music on and you can watch the rest of this process. Right, there we are. So I'll leave that to dry in the sun. And, oh, it's bright. Is that blinding you? It might be. I'll leave that to dry and come back out in a bit and see whether it needs another coat. What I've realised I need to do is put some gold on the back of this. So I'm trying to work out the best way to do this. And I think it is going to be to measure across there and get, it's not very easy this, to get that to the right. This is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I probably should have wrapped the inside completely. So, but I've got this pencil here, so what I can do is I can go along that line there. That'll be fine. And then if I can somehow manage this is awesome YouTube, I'm sure. Watch Beard struggle with basic stuff. Kind of need 3 hands or someone to help, but I have neither. Let me see if that's in the right place. So yeah, so what I was hoping to do was cut this out. No, that's far from in the right place. Far from it. Actually, not far from it. Pretty much in the right place. So anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'll try to actually talk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and then stick it on the back. And that will then mean that when I do the next step, which is going to be doing it so that the doors stay open. When they're open, you'll have the same kind of the same colour and what have you. Anyway, I'm struggling here. I'm going to stop filming for now because I've rambled for 2 minutes and actually said very little. So yeah, I'll be back when I've got this cut on both sides and I've got it stuck on and show what it looks like. I did manage to get that measured and I did it using some clamps, but I think I've actually not got enough of the gold. So what I've decided to do is to go with the red. So it'll be gold on the outside, red on the inside, which is cool. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to do the same thing, cut that and glue it in. I'm not going to use the wallpaper paste because it causes so much warping and I do not want these to warp, so I'm just going to do it with PVA glue. But yeah, so clamps. You can never have too many clamps. Well, I managed to get that cut out with a combination of the tricks I was using before and also just a measure. So what I'm going to do now is glue this in place, and I'm going to do this in a couple of stages. So I've got PVA glue and I've just refilled it. So I've got loads of glue on there now. And again, I'm going to be making use of my clamps. So we will put a batch of PVA glue along the top. And I need to be a bit more careful because I've just dropped some glue inside onto the backdrop. Fortunately it will dry clear, but anyway, be a bit more careful, Andrew. Right, so once we've got that in place, what I'm going to do is offer up and glue just that first part in. The reason I'm going to do it like this is so that we get it relatively flat with no bulges, because I can't weight this down, obviously, because there's nothing to weight it against. And I'm going to have to clamp it. There we are. So we'll clamp there, and we'll clamp there. And we'll clamp there. And we'll clamp there. And in about an hour or so, I'll come and do the next bit, and then in about an hour after that, I'll do the next bit. And yeah, that should then be glued on. And I have cut it so that it's got a little bit of an overlap that goes inside, so that should make it look nice and neat. So what I'm going to do now is cut out this side and then start to glue that one in place. And I might put another few clamps along the front, along the top here as well. So yeah, I'll bring you back when that's done, show what it all looks like with both sides. Right, I really need to get this done. So I'm going to put some effort in over the next couple of days to make as much progress on this as I possibly can. Now, one thing that's happened, which is very interesting, is I had a tube of the silicone that I was going to put down here. Now it's in direct sunlight, and it's been in direct sunlight for a very long time. And as you can see, that has yellowed quite badly. So I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to use that or not, but I'm going to leave that decision until later because I need to do all the flocking and everything else before I do the tree. So one thing I do need to do is some of the side stuff has come away a little bit. You can probably see a little bit easier here. Oh, and here, sorry. But looking at the wrong thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of my Moment Fix Extreme just to squirt some glue in there and press it into place, and that should then recover the side boards. It's a bit damaged on all sides actually. So yeah, whatever glue I used, it's been so many years I can't remember, has not worked well. So I'll get that done. I'm not going to film it because it's going to be very, very difficult to film, but I'll get that done. And then the next thing to do is going to be to start building up the grass and the trees and everything that's going to go around the edges of this. And I will bring you along for that. The sun's coming in at an annoying angle, so it's a bit washed out. But you can see what I'm going to do, so it's okay. So the first thing I'm going to do for the base of this is I'm going to stick this rock on just like that, so it looks pretty awesome. If you can actually see that, hopefully you can. To stick it on, I'm going to use my Moment Fix Power. They don't seem to sell the Extreme anymore, so hopefully this is just as strong. We shall find out, I suppose. So we'll put some on the bottom of it. Is that going to focus? There we are. So put some glue on the bottom of it. I've got the blind down so that hopefully it wouldn't have done this, but it's just washing out because of how bright it is back here. Sorry about that. Right, so we're going to press that in there, and what I'll do is I will actually shift positions to show you the next thing that I'm going to do, so you can actually see it, because yeah, it's a terrible shot. Just give me one moment. Right, there we are. That's a bit better. So what you can see on the base here is a hand holding a sword. And what I'm going to do, I'll zoom in a bit more. There it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and quickly paint that up, very, very basically. And then I'm going to stick that, once I've done my terrain, I'm going to stick that underneath his foot. So he has squished someone. And I may cut up a shield as well. I've got a few shields. I've got some Orky shields here, which I might use. I've got basically some spares from some kits, and I might put a shield on the other side. So can let that dry. I'm going to go and quickly paint that, and then once that's dry, I'll bring you back and we'll do the rest of the basing, and then we'll put the poor deceased underneath his foot. Right, it's time to work on. Right, it's time to work on the top. So the idea here will be that Rosie will be able to stand on a step and do the puppets. We have a couple, the puppets that you do with strings. Now obviously it's going to be a little while before she's old enough for that, but maybe me and Angela can do it. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to need to do is take this tab off completely because it's damaged. There we are. Then I'm going to get, I'll have to go turn the camera off. I'm getting better, but I'm still not well, so still not thinking straight. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out from about here to about here and to about here, and then forwards to not far past the centre, so to about here. And that's going to be where you'll be able to drop the puppets through. And then I have a sheet of cardboard which I will put here, and I'll glue across to make that more secure. So, and then that'll be done. And then I'll put the red wallpaper on again, but I'll just use PVA because that's proving to be a much more efficient thing than the all that warping that's happened with the with the paste. And then when it's all glued down, the only thing left will be the lights, and we'll be done. Oh, and tying the doors back, which I'm also going to try and do today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and get my pencil and mark out where I want to do the cuts, and then I'll bring you back when I'm doing the cutting. Alright, so I've measured 20 centimetres in from each edge and 10 centimetres up from the back, which I think is going to be fine. So what I'm going to do now is carefully cut across there, and I'll do it by doing multiple passes. There we are, and now let's cut the sides out to remove this part. There we are. So what I'm going to do now, I'll turn the camera off because it's just going to be more of the same, is take out the bits that I need to take out on this tab, and then I'll bring them up when I've done that, and when I'm starting to stick the little bit of cardboard across here. I am starting to wish that I had not cut the whole of that tab off, that I'd left it on there, because I could then have used that as a little bit more structure. I think that was a mistake, cutting that front tab off. But hey, you live and learn, and I'm not perfect. So yeah, so I'll get this finished off, getting this all cut out, and then I will bring you back for the next step when I get to it. So yeah, it's absolutely clear that I should not have cut that full tab off, but never mind. So what I've done is I've just cut a couple of these tabs from some packing material. I found one that already had a curve in it, a bend in it, and I've marked on the edge here where I need to glue it. So this is going to slow me down a little bit because I'm going to need to get this to be set completely before I can move on. I'm just going to use some PVA glue, way too much as per usual. There we are, and I will clamp that in place in a second once I've got this glue off my finger by spreading it onto the other one. There we are. Cool. So I'll clamp that in place, and then when that's dried I will drop this down on top and clamp it in place, and then that will give me that little bit more structure that I need to support this. So yeah, I'll just get the height I need as well. That one looks good. Oops. There we are. So we'll get those clamped, and I'll bring you back when I've finished gluing everything down, and then when we're looking to put the strip along the front, which is going to be the next step for this part of the build. Right, with that now all clamped up, as you can see, that's setting. What I'm going to do is this back flap here, I'm going to put some glue on it and then glue it down over the top, and then I will come along and do the final front bit once I've taken these clamps off. So it won't take very long to do that. Just I've got a brush. I can't actually see very well what you can see on the camera because I've been an idiot. Oh, well, you can see everything, that's good. Okay, so yeah, so I've got my brush. So what I'll do is I'll just put some PVA like this, and then spread it around, and if I need any more then I can add some more, obviously. I do really wish that I'd used PVA and not the wallpaper paste, because it has warped things something rotten, which is such a shame. But this is how we learn. And I do think actually the wallpaper paste is going to make very good papier-mâché. something I'm going to be exploring at some point soon. So it may end up, despite having not been the right tool for this job, I've learned something there that I can maybe make use of in another project. I didn't actually need to put glue there, did I? Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Even in the hour or so since I last filmed, my throat has cleared up. I've not got a headache anymore. I've suddenly, happily, thank goodness, come out the other side of this little cold that Rosie gave me, which is a massive relief. I'm so fed up with being sick this year. But I'm still not 100%, which is why I put the glue over this central bit. Right, there we are. So we've got plenty of glue on there now, but not too much. So what we'll do now, bend that over, get some clamps and clamp it in place. So these clamps really are brilliant because they reach in far enough. And then I can use my normal clamps everywhere else. Right, I will let that all set up, and then when I'm coming to do the front bit, I will put the camera back on again and show you that. Right, so that's all now nicely dried and filled, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is come along with the black paint and touch that up everywhere, and then I will be back with some flocking and maybe a little bit more brown dry brushing on everywhere where I've got my soil texture. So yeah, get that done, bring you along for the flocking. Alright, so I've done a nice brown dry brush, which has made a big difference. Pick up that little bit of dirt there. So yeah, that's a lot better, a lot closer to what I want. I'm going to let it dry, and I might do another slightly lighter one. Particularly up here isn't all that great. I'm looking for something a little bit more like that, I think, so I might just do a little bit more on top of that ridge. But then it will be time for flocking and making it look all green and adding on those colours, which is always when it comes to life. I'm also going to have a track going along here to a broken bridge, so probably what I'll have is some rocks, so it'll be a somewhere where you can cross over here, so I'm going to do that as well soon. And then when I finally do come to do my quite still dusty here, isn't it? When I finally do come to do my pour here, not going to be a pour, it's going to be using the silicone sealant, just not that one that turned yellow. Then that will be going on around there, and then I will need to do my water effects over the water, and then it'll be done. But there will be trees as well on top of this section here, and over there I'm going to have a little bit of trees. But the first thing is going to be to do the flock. So once I'm happy with this brown colour, if I need to do another coat, I'll do it and I'll let you know. Then I'll be back doing the flock. Alright, so I have a brand new jar for my terrain glue. And I really need to make some more of my dark flock, which I'm going to have to probably do in the next day or so if I'm going to finish this. What I'm going to do is basically start here and work around. There's actually not a huge area that needs to be flocked here, just because most of it is designed to be rocky, and I will put little bushes and what have you on the rocks. But basically we're going to paint on PVA like so, and then this is the grass colour, which I have lots of. So I made loads the last time I made it. And to do this, you just scatter it over. If you want to know how to make this homemade flock, there is a video in the description of every one of my videos in the Read See More bit, which links to how I make this. The grass is very much not all one colour, so we always have a couple of colours. So just scatter a second colour over a little bit. And then into my oh so precious dark. and then finally back for a little bit more of the grass. And what I'll do is when that is dried, I will come and seal it with the same Seal It glue, and that will not be moving for anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all of this done, all of everywhere where I've done the dry brushing. That is going to have this grass colour put on it. And when I've finished doing that, I'll bring it back because we'll be ready to put the trees on. Oh, there we are, that's done. I thought late about turning on for the time lapse, so we missed the first colour just down here, but yeah, really pleased that I decided to do that time lapse. And yeah, really happy with how it looks. I really like the 3-colour technique. It just makes it look so much more natural, and it gives a really nice kind of variation of colour in the grass. So I'll wait for that now to dry, and then I'll come over and coat it again with some more PVA. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be putting a little bit more rough, kind of maybe some sandy down here, just 2 tracks of sandy, because that's where the path is. And I'm going to start to think about how I'm going to do the rocks here. So they're going to be dressed stone, so I might make them out of XPS and paint them up. But I'm just thinking about that now, and I'll bring you along for that when I get to it. Right, it's very much later this evening, and as you can see, I have come here and painted more PVA over the top of the grass. Lots and lots of it. You can't have too much really. It will dry fine, and it will make it really, really solid and make sure that nothing comes off. So that will dry overnight, and then tomorrow I can do the next bit. Right, so the plan to hold the doors back is to make some basically discs, which I will be able to take a thread. I'll attach the discs on the sides, attach a thread to each door, and then when you pull the door back, you'll be able to wrap the thread around the door, around the disc, and that will hold it in place. To do that, I've got myself a hole cutter. So I've got a sacrificial piece underneath, and I've clamped it down. So hopefully this is going to work. There we are, good. So there's the first one. So I need 2 of these, one for each side, and obviously what I need to do is sand the edges because this is for Rosie, so I do not want her to be getting splinters. So I'll get another piece of scrap and drill that out in the same way, and then what we'll do is we will attach this, we'll put a thread through this and make a big knot, and then the same on the other side. So it's just going to be quite a simple attachment, but I'll bring you along for that. But first of all, I'm going to sand this down also and paint it. So yeah, when I'm ready to attach it, I will turn the camera back on. The last part of this layout to do has been the station area. Now my original plan was to do a collaboration with a friend, which unfortunately didn't work out, and waited quite a few months, and that's life, it's not a problem at all. But I was going to do a collaboration of making the building, custom making it, scratch building it. That hasn't happened, and I want to get this finished because it's annoying me that there's just this last little section. It just goes from the tunnel up to the edge of the fishing lake, which is unscenic. So what I've done is I've purchased 2 things. The first one is this, which is a cheap and nasty from made in China, it says on the bottom. I probably wouldn't have ordered it if I'd realised that. It needs a little bit of work. I'm not sure how well it shows up, but that end gable is a bit damaged. That's how it came out of the packet. But it looks nice, and it's relatively similar to what it's like in the books. And the second thing I've purchased is this Dapol Kitmaster plastic kit of the booking hole number C014. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this, which I'll do on camera, put that together and paint it and look at and see what it looks like. And then Rosie will choose which one she wants to have going here, and that's how we're going to work that out. The second thing that's arrived, because I'm determined to get this running again, and I tried to run the tracks, run the train yesterday and it didn't work at all. The other thing that's arrived is the track cleaner. So this is track cleaning fluid, and I actually think I might have some and hadn't realised it, but anyway, I'll find out. But this is track cleaner. We'll just make it a bit easier to keep the tracks clean, and hopefully we can get some trains running as well. So I'll just move the camera because there is one other thing I've picked up, because I am trying to get this back in operation, and Rosie is very excited to get this back in operation. So I picked up one other thing, and then yeah, what we'll do is we'll get on with this booking hall, building the booking hall, and then Rosie can decide which one to pick, and then we'll put it in place with a little platform, a little crossing, and finishing all this, and it'll be awesome. So the other thing I picked up was another one of these controllers. Now the one that we were using previously is actually from the Christmas railway, the layout that goes around the bottom of the tree, and so I was having to steal it out of that and swap it around, which meant I couldn't run both at the same time. But what I would like to do is actually build this in so that it can sit, and I'm not going to build it in so that it's actually stuck, but I want to put a little shelf or a little holder here so that it can not be like set on the tracks like it is now. It's got somewhere to live. So that's the plan. So I bought that so I can get that done as well. So that will also be something I'll be doing over the coming weeks and months. So yeah, let's get this track back in operation. It is a beautiful thing, and Rosie does love it. It's just that I haven't made the time to make it work again. But now I'm starting on my own. I really should get hers working, shouldn't I? Otherwise that's supremely selfish. So yeah, we'll see how much time I can get to put into this. But I've got a couple of very firm projects there that I do need to focus on, and that will keep me focused, to use the same word twice, too close together. Well, there we are. Like I say, a really varied week. Really good to get back onto the lake, make some progress there. Didn't make quite as much as I wanted to, simply because I wasn't feeling well, so my energy levels dropped off. I am still sick. I've got a bad sore throat, got bunged up, but yeah, I'm fighting through it. This is what having kids is all about, is they bring home diseases from school. But the best thing to get back to was the model railway. So later on today, I really hope to work with Rosie to get the track clean and get the train running again. So hopefully next week you'll have some footage of that. But yeah, it's been a good week, and that excursion, I know I said in the intro, but that excursion was just awesome, and I can't wait to put a video together and for all of you to see it. If you're interested, do jump on over to my other channel, which is ARA Railroad, and you will eventually be able to see some videos coming out there, which is going to start soon, I hope. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Really appreciate it, and they do motivate me a lot, so don't be shy. Please do say hello. I'll wrap up by saying, as I always do at the moment, hopefully this can stop soon, but the war in Ukraine is still going on horrendously. So if any of you are impacted by that directly or indirectly, then my thoughts do go out to you and anyone you know who may be in that horrible situation. And to everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.